guys.
What's going on? This is Ashley.
That's Sarah. Oh.
What are we doing here?
We're doing a request video.
So normally we are watching Oscar Best Winner films. We're starting from the oldest all the way to the newest, but we sometimes take a pause to watch a recommendation video from one of our viewers. So this particular one is 1932's Scarface, which I did not know that there was one from 1932.
No idea. I had no idea.
It doesn't surprise me. It never surprises me when there's a remake, when there's an older one or an original one. I
feel like we're cooking.
You wanna check it? Yeah, a little bit.
Huh.
The guy comes into town. He's a hired hitman for somebody kind of big in charge, but he's kind of a sissy. Doesn't want to, rock the boat too much, and just wants to hang out and make his money. They sell booze instead of cocaine. They sell booze.
It's the Prohibition era, so that's
the big ticket is alcohol.
Yeah. He
comes in. His name's Coletti. Talks a little slow for my liking.
He does talk really slow.
The whole movie, even the girl interest that Poppy, that he kind of likes, could care less about her.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect match. It's one of those things you see a couple, you say to yourself, I don't get it, but then it makes sense.
Alright, I get it.
So he's got a love interest, and he's ready to take over the business. That's what he wants. He's an achiever. Favorite quote, and I actually managed to write this one down, was he said, there's three rules in this business. It's like, do it first, do it yourself, keep doing it. Those are the three things that I thought was interesting, and that pretty much says a lot of it. He's kind of off his rocker, and he wants to be in charge and make money. He's obsessed with having nice things. There was a couple things in the film I didn't understand. His side guy with the stutter, and he was really slow, confused me. And even the storyline with him and his sister is kind of weird.
Him and his sister, that is a little weird. It's more than a little weird. It's troubling at certain points.
The majority of people have seen the 1983 Scarface with Pacino, because that's a classic. I'm not even a huge fan of mobster films. Well, I am a fan of mobster films. They are really great. So this one's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's kind of similar in a lot of ways, but then in some more ways it's not.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Just the way it's shot is a lot different. Like, it's not as pretty.
Well, of course. I mean, this is 49 years?
Yeah.
49 years apart from the original.
It's a few years before, so.
It's 1930s. Like, this was...
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it
85, 86 years ago, and I feel like you definitely could watch something...
Yeah.
A similar storyline at this time.
I mean, you could go on YouTube and watch this movie right now for free, and yeah, it's a little choppy. It is really quite choppy.
An older film. It is an older film for sure, but it's free on YouTube, so that's how we went about watching it.
You get to check it out.
Would it be safe to say that anybody has seen the 1983 Scarface, which I think they're also thinking of another remake at this point, because I saw IMDb had a bunch of question marks for a future one. Mm-hmm. Would you say anybody who liked the 1980s one would like the 1930s one?
I would say that if you like the 1980s one, then of course you would like the 1930s one, because you obviously like mob films.
Okay.
That's what I would think.
Fair enough.
If I were to choose like the 80s and 30s version, like, obviously Al Pacino is Al Pacino, but this guy, he talks slower, but...
Well, and he's also Italian, so that's another major difference.
It felt a little bit more authentic in certain aspects of it.
I feel like they took the story in the 30s and they brought it into the 80s. And the 80s were flash, they were more intense, it was cocaine, it was... it was in Miami, I know in Florida. So I feel like they did what they needed to do to make it an 80s blockbuster. I enjoy this because this was not a winner. Obviously, it wasn't in the Oscars. It wasn't nominated for any Oscars, but it gives us an opportunity. Right now, we're seeing a lot of old films we've never watched before. So when we see that these movies have won, we're really confused, just because our exposure to all old movies from that time period is not, we don't have a lot of exposure from it. So appreciated watching this older film. I looked up who the winner was for that year, and it was Grand Hotel. was the year that this movie came out.
All right,
so it gives you an idea of cinematography was different. Just I noticed a lot of the action films. I imagine a lot of those shots were being developed, like that kind of the car chases and the shooting
really
up
hard
and
to
stuff.
shoot back then.
So I think it was interesting. What rating would you give this?
Well, because I'm a big fan of the 1980s Al Pacino, so I'm gonna give it 4 Al Pacinos.
Ooh.
Right there. Yeah, I really enjoyed
my rating. Kind of torn here.
Oh wow.
I'm super torn here.
It's getting serious, guys.
So I'm gonna go with 3 Tommy guns, which I took note of, and he was like a kid in a candy store when Coletti got his hands on one of the Tommy guns.
I actually do have like a little small bit of like trivia about the Tommy gun.
Yes, that's what I wanted to look up too. Great minds think alike.
It wasn't called Tommy gun. Some people just called it a typewriter, and other people called it a Chicago typewriter. So, little bit of fun facts.
All right, fun facts.
There you go.
We're gonna head back into our Oscar adventure and project, and we're gonna start clicking out some movies.
Yep.
Thanks again for the recommendation.
Thank you.
Check it out if you're interested. I think it's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. This is Ashley.
That's Sarah. See you guys later. Bye.